Peace. Today we're going to be talking about internet privacy, and I hope your day is going fantastic. Have you ever wondered about the best way to protect your privacy on the net? In this video, I'll be sharing with you a few things I do to help protect my information from the many different sources that definitely want to know all about us, about you, and about me. Well, let's go. Alright, first of all, why should I care about my privacy on the internet? I'm not doing anything sketchy. Well, to quote the founder of DuckDuckGo, a popular search engine that is committed to not selling user data, what most people don't realize is that even if you don't use any Google products directly, they're still trying to discover as much as they can about you. Google trackers have been found on 75% of the top million websites. This means they're also tracking to most everywhere you go on the internet, trying to slurp up your browsing history. Most people don't know that Google runs most of the ads you see across the internet and its apps. You know these ones that follow you around everywhere? Yep, that's Google too. They aren't really a search company anymore, they're a tracking company. They're tracking as much as they can for these annoying and intrusive ads, including recording every time you see them, where you saw them, if you clicked on them, etc. But that's not even all, and he goes in a lot deeper than that, but I'll post the full description in my comments so that you can see that for yourself. I do recommend using DuckDuckGo, and you might ask me, is that really that invasive? Oh, can you give me an example? Very well. So first of all, let's go to discover.com. I'm using Google Chrome right now, which doesn't even offer a privacy mode. They let you know they're checking you out, as I say on a video posted on YouTube owned by Google. What if I told you that I am giving out my information for free to several companies right now, just by visiting the site right now? Yup. So, how can you tell who's getting my information? Let me show you, but before I do, there's something I must touch on quickly, and that's scripts. Dun, 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 dun. The definition of a computer script is a list of commands that are executed by a certain program or scripting engine. Scripts may be used to automate processes on a local computer or to generate pages on the web. JavaScript is the most popular example of a script which helps web pages to function properly, that need JavaScript to run. Google Analytics is a script which runs on most web pages quietly in the background that collects our data. You never know it's there. And believe me, they're running on most every web page. How can I see which scripts are running on my web pages? Well, thanks to a wonderful programmer by the name of Giorgio Maioni, probably butchering it, from Italy, we have a program called NoScript. I think that was the first one of its kind, which blocks all scripts from running. And consider donating to the guy, because it's free software. I mean, I even gave the brother $5. As a testament to this product, Edward Snowden, who, if you know what that is, if you know anything about internet security of late, endorsed NoScript as a countermeasure against, quote, state surveillance state. It was also given praise by PC World, CNET, the New York Times, Forbes, and many others. Nope, not getting paid to promote this. And I'm gonna, link noscript.net in there for a source of quotes, and so that you can check it out there more. To quickly explain NoScript a little bit more technically, by default, NoScript blocks active or executable web content, which can wholly or partially be unblocked via the user interface. I don't know if that was the best example, but I'm going to keep rolling. You can check it out more on their website. It's called NoScript, so essentially in the default configuration, active content when NoScript is running is globally denied. So what that means is every script is, NoScript is running, and it says we're not going to let anything go, nothing at all. And the user can turn this around and tell which scripts to run and which scripts not to. So instead of taking it all in and taking it off piece by piece, you're taking it all off and putting it on piece by piece. This allow list, can be permanent or temporary. So maybe, just for this one time you want to give the website permission, or maybe you go to the website every day and you trust them as a source in their scripts, and you want to leave it permanent, which is what most users will end up doing for, like JavaScript and things like that. And you might even find that later as you grow to know a script, you'll give it that permission. What? So essentially, this program prevents web pages from running by preventing scripts which sell user data. Many of these scripts, like Google Analytics. This means, like I just said, you have to choose from it, which can be really tedious in the beginning, that you have to choose from all these scripts, and many people will, want to just enable them all globally, which essentially means defeats the purpose of having it in the first place, unless you really just wanted to see which ones were running and let them do their thing. I've learned a lot simply by learning which scripts run on which pages. And let me show you a peek so that you can see what I'm saying here. Okay, we're back at discover.com, and this time with NoScript running. So first thing you might notice here, it says, please note JavaScript is not enabled. Like we were talking about, that's totally reasonable to have JavaScript running. The page actually looks a little bit different if you notice the background, which is interesting, and it seems to run, but not all the links are as flashy. So another thing, this is the NoScript icon, and it's got a 3 next to it. Blocked items 3 of 3. So let's click that down, and we see that the Discover script is blocked and Bizarre Voice is blocked. Okay, so let's enable Discover because that's what we want, and we'll just say temporary. Okay, and now, wait a minute, what? Did you see how it said 4 there for a second? What's going on here? So let's click it again. Holy! So when I let Discover script run, it had all these other things behind it. And now let's take a look. We've got online metrics, so some kind of thing for click recording, which links which customers are clicking on, imagine. Okay, OMTDRC, okay. DoubleClick.net, they're another one that records that stuff. You can look more into them. Demdex.net, probably another one. Bstatic.com, Branch.io, and then Bizarre Voice and this Octagon. What? And you can imagine 1 or 2 of them might be for user statistics, companies that will help businesses compile user data information so that if they're not clicking a button, maybe they can fix whatever's wrong. A lot of that stuff makes sense, but do you really need that many to do that? There's clearly a third party which is collecting the information there. There's several of them. The fact that there is more than one here shows that your data is a commodity which is being sold. And I love NoScript because of the fact that, like I was saying, you start from having nothing and you slowly put it on, as opposed to you have everything and you take it off. Though you could structure NoScript that way as well. It's totally reasonable. One last thing, what happens when we set it all to trusted? Because we did on Google Chrome, all this stuff was just running, without letting us know. Are there any more scripts that are enabled? Oh, now we also have the Bright tag and applink.com. So the more scripts you're enabling, the more the more scripts on top of that are also running. Even more now. This is what I'm saying, that every single Samba TV, what is that? I'm sure many of you do know, but all this stuff is running when you go to the average browser. And it looks like it finally decided that it was done. So let's click just a link to see what, oh, I'm a student, I want a student loan. How about that? Are there any more scripts that are running? Okay, oh, Adobe TV now, we got Discover Student Loans, I guess that one makes sense. And I'm just showing you that you know, this is all the stuff that you're just saying, okay, anytime you run Google Chrome, and, you know, yeah, you're just a student on here, and most websites, you know, might not even have it, but it's at least an interesting perspective to have, to know who's watching, and profiting off of the information you're getting. So another program I want to give a shout out to, and again, I'm not getting paid for this, is Ghostery. Ghostery monitors all the different web servers that are being called from a particular web page and matches them to a library of data collection tools, trackers, essentially. Let me get some water. Coffee. I got some coffee left. This is a coffee straw made of silicone, much better for your teeth. So you get to learn about the companies, is why I was talking about Ghostery. Because, hey, knowledge is power, right? You know, I like knowing the companies that are, you know, doing this. You know, even if it's just for the sake of knowing, who knows? So, will this really make a difference? Oh. And you can have one or the other. You can have, if you're like me, I have both, because it's like one balances out the other. So I can enable everything on NoScript, and still Ghostery will block it. So I have to go in there, but Ghostery does a good job. As you can see, if I can control the rate at which I'm scrolling, of immediately Xing out all of the advertising trackers, also telling you about them. Adobe Test and Target. What is Adobe? Continue to full tracker profile. That's pretty cool. I really, you know, and they update this regularly. If, you know, obviously if they want to stay in business. So they have that, and then they have customer interaction. Oh, that's what Bizarre Voice is. In case you are just a paranoid person, you know, what are these Bizarre Voice? Oh, that's what it is. So then we have Essential, things that you're not going to be able to run if you don't do this. To close it up here, will this really make a difference? Oh, let me share with you from personal experience what I've seen happen after years of consistently using NoScript, and later adding Ghostery as well, but mainly NoScript, via Mozilla Firefox, and then eventually getting Google Chrome, just because doing more business stuff, it became much more convenient that way. So number one, my example, is shopping for supplements. I ran on a Google Chrome device, or a Google Chrome app browser from my phone, and immediately after I went there, by pulling it up on my phone, because I thought my internet wasn't working well on my computer, I got an ad on my Instagram page for that company. And this is within minutes after I visited that page for the first time in my life, and I only went there via a text article I read on a forum. So I actually typed in the link and went there, and right after I went there, I checked my Instagram for somebody liked a post, and I saw their ads immediately after. And it shocked me, because, you know, you might be used to that, but for years of consistently using a program and, you know, having weird advertisements that are, you know, don't really appeal to me or make any sense, that I just ignore, that are easy to ignore, now it's getting selective about it. So that's my first example. And number two is I visited my company website via the Google Chrome browser to look at, on my computer this time, to look at a piece of information from my company's website that gets updated every day. And then later that same day, I saw an ad on Facebook which shared a blog post for my company. And prior to that, I had never seen any advertisements from them. But later that exact same day I did. So that's two examples of what really happened was, well, I won't get into it, but just two examples personally that kind of shocked me into saying, whoa, I went to this website and immediately they connected that to my social media feeds. It's an honor and a pleasure to be rocking with you right now. Thank you so much for your attention. I would say at the very least consider getting something which tells you about the companies that track you, so that you can make more educated buying decisions, if nothing else. If you have any questions, if there's anything I missed or that needs clarification, or is just straight up wrong, or if you have any questions, I said that twice, please let me know. Peace and have a wonderful day. Oh, out.